Good morning, vegan runners. So my name's Claire and I'm going to be doing a Pilates for vegan runners today. So this is going to be about a 45-minute session, and you can be doing it live, or if you're doing it on catch up, then just please comment and let me know how you found it as well. So if you've got a mat, that would be great. If you haven't got a mat, a carpeted floor will be fine. I've got here long band like that. If you've got one of those, that would be great. If you haven't got one of those, then just a small hand towel will be fine as well, or any kind of strap, dog lead, anything like that. I've got here a spiky massage ball as well. If you haven't got one of those, then a tennis ball or a dog ball would be fine as well. And that's all you really need today. If you haven't got those things, don't worry though, as long as you've got some space to work out on. And if you are watching me live, if you wouldn't mind just letting me know that you can see me and hear me okay, and that the sound is okay, so it always varies slightly, that would be great. Obviously I can't see you as we're on Facebook, so you're doing all of this at your own risk. I can't correct what you're doing here, so please be careful and work within your limitations. If you've got any injuries or medical conditions that mean that you shouldn't be doing this kind of thing, then obviously don't. So this is my disclaimer before I get started. So we're going to work today on mobility, which is obviously important for runners. We're going to work on balance. So obviously running is always moving from one leg to the other, so balance is a really important thing. And we're going to focus on strength and flexibility as well. Okay, I can see you and hear you, thank you very much. Okay, so let's get set up. Excellent, thank you very much. So feet together, and then just turn your toes out to the corners of the room and bring your heels behind you, and that should get you in a nice stacked position. So your second toe is in line with the middle of the kneecap, in line with the hip bones and the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down, elongate the spine, so you're standing up nice and tall, but don't lock the knees. Keep a light softness in the knees, okay? Roll the shoulders, pull up the neck, and have some light control through the tummy. So you're not pulling in completely, but you're not just letting it go either. So just a light control there. We're going to mobilize from top to bottom, but then I'm going to focus my mobility on the parts that we need to work on as runners in particular, okay? So just turning the head side to side to start with. As we know, the body is a chain, so even though you're not particularly using your neck and shoulders in running, if there's anything going on and there's anything a bit tight in there, it can affect the rest of the chain. Bring it into the center. Take your chin to your chest, slowly take it up to the ceiling. Bring it down, and this is not going to be complicated, so if you've never done Pilates before, don't worry at all. Bring it into the center. Take your ear towards your shoulder, bring it into the center, and ear towards the other shoulder, bring it back to the center. Hold it there. Just lift and lower your shoulders. And this is good as well, this kind of technique, especially if you're getting ready for races, any kind of nervousness, you tend to hold tension in your shoulders, and then circle the shoulders round here. Well done. And then take a circle with the arm. Let's do 4 this side. Excellent. And 4 the other side. So stretch it up and around. Lovely. Take both arms in front and then bring one elbow back behind you if I show you from that angle. So pull the elbow back in line with the shoulder, just opening up there. Well done. Lower it down and just roll those shoulders again. Hopefully they feel a little bit more mobile. And if you've been sitting down a lot, working from home, then this is all beneficial too. Hands together and twist. Center. So just mobilizing through the spine here. Last couple. And hold it here. And now I just want you to circle around the pelvis. So lower back and loosen off the pelvis. And now we are hitting the areas where it really matters for runners. Go the other way. So circle round. Lovely. Hold it in the center. Lift up one heel at a time. Just notice if you can feel anything going on with your lower back. And then tilt your pelvis forwards and back. If you imagine all the way forwards is point A and all the way back is point C, find point B, so somewhere in between, and that's where I'd like you to hold it. So that's your neutral spine position. We're going to lift up a knee and lower. So working into the hips and focusing a little bit on balance because we're not moving too quickly here. Take the leg out to the side. And again, we're balancing and mobilising the hip. Well done. Now take the leg back behind you. So taking the hip in every direction. You can lean forward slightly if you want to. If that's too much, just tap the foot on the floor. So lift in front. Well done. And if that's too much, like I said, you could just tap the toe in front. We're still moving the hip. Take it out to the side. So you could either tap or lift. Your choice. Lift. And one more time. And then going behind you. Fabulous. So a little bit of balance. We're going to work a bit more on balance in a second though. Hold the feet under you and squat. And lift. So just push into the glutes like you're trying to burst out the back of your leggings or your pyjamas or whatever it is you're wearing. That's the good thing about Facebook, isn't it? No one knows. And then hold it here. Lift up on your toes and release. So warming up under the feet and through the calf muscles here. Excellent. One squat and then one lift. So squat and now lift. Try to make sure that you're distributing your weight evenly between both feet. Let's do 2 more. So push it back. And then a lift, and one more time, so push back, and then lift. I'm going to circle the hip around, circle it round, and then a squat. Other side, so circle, and squat. Let's do 2 more. So these kind of mobility exercises, obviously good to do before a run. Take it round. And squat. Now can we circle inwards? So take the hip inwards and squat like you're climbing over a fence. There. Fabulous. Let's do 2 more. So bring it round and then a squat. And last time, take it round and then a squat. Hold it here. Just pedal the feet. So just a light little pedal there and then really deepen that. So really push into those heels and lift up the other one. Excellent. Okay, take the legs out wider now and just go side to side. So really thinking about mobilising through those hips, which is so important for runners. Keep it going. Excellent. Okay, just walk the feet back in. If you have a spiky ball or a tennis ball or equivalent, you don't want, if you've got a spiky ball, you don't want something that's rock solid. So these have got a bit of give in them, okay? So if you can squeeze those, then they are better, okay? So I'm going to put it under the foot and roll my foot forwards and back. These are excellent for runners. So if we've got anything going on further up the body, it's always good to release the feet. Sometimes they can be the root cause of things, and obviously using your feet so much when running, it's so important just to release them. So rolling forwards and back, so following the fibres. Okay, bring your ball into the insole of the foot and roll forwards and back, and then you can take it to the outside. Any areas of tension that you find, just hold it there for a bit longer. Just work through it. Like I said before, you can do this with a tennis ball. You won't get the same kind of sensation without it being prickly, but it still will give you some effect. Okay, change sides. So roll that one. You might notice that one side is more sensitive than the other. And again, it's just good to know that too. If anyone wants to know where I got these from, let me know. I'm not in collaboration with anybody at all. I can tell you where I got these from if you want to know. Okay, and they're really good for massage all over the body. So you, instead of using a foam roller, you can use these for your calves and hamstrings and everything else. Obviously, foam rollers have got great benefits as well, but these are great if you haven't got the space. Okay, just release and just pedal your feet again and just notice the difference then. Hopefully they feel a bit looser. Okay, I'm going to just do a couple more exercises with these. I realise not everybody will have one, so I don't want to spend too long with them. I'll put the ball under the ball of my foot, and I'm going to just do a couple of little squats there, and you'll feel the calf muscles stretch. And again, we're just releasing the foot a bit more. One more time, and then release it then. Now put the ball towards where your heel meets the middle of your foot, and just do a couple of squats there. You'll get much lower in that position. Well done. And then release. Just notice how each foot feels there, and you'll find that that one probably feels better. Okay, let's go to this side. So ball of the foot on the ball, and just do a couple of squats there. And like I said, you won't get so far in this position with your toe up and your heel down, but it's stretching those calf muscles and releasing the foot. And then we're going to put the ball between the midsection of the foot and the heel, and do a couple of squats there. Lovely. One more time, and then release it. Just pedal the feet through. Just notice how that feels. Maybe have a little walk around. I'm just going to open my window up. It's a bit warm in here. Okay, so pedaling the feet through, and then we're going to have a think about balance. So I want you to lift the knee, open, bring it in and down. Same leg. Lift, open, in. We could add some arms. So we could lift, open, in and down. One more time. Excellent. Let's go on the other side. Lift, open. And I'll tell you now, I've got an issue with this hip, a long-term issue, which does mean that I wobble sometimes on this side. I always demonstrate on my good side first. There was a perfect example of it. Out, in and down. Just pedal the feet. I am getting it sorted, but just so as you know, when I start looking a bit strange on that side, okay, hold it in the center. You're going to lift, extend, bring it in and down. This time we could go with those arms. Again, in and down. So think about your core, hold the core strong. In and down. One more time. Lift, extend, bring it in and down. Let's switch sides. Lift, extend, bring it in and down. So keep thinking about your core, front and back. Imagine you're holding the tummy really strong. One more time. Lift and open. In. Let's change it up a bit. So I'm going to come up, open, extend and in. So lift, open, extend and bring it in. Two more. If you wanted to make this even harder, you could stand on a yoga block. Okay, that will just test your balance a little bit more. Other side then. So lift, open, extend, bring it in. I'm playing football with a spiky ball as well now. Let's do two more. So lift, open, extend. So really important to work on balance as a runner. And then hold it here, just pedal the feet. So when I said about a yoga block before, those balance moves, if you're just standing your other foot on a block, you'll instantly make it more of a challenge, okay? So there's a good one for you. If you want to watch this back again and make it a bit harder for yourself, that's how you can progress it. Okay, so I'm going to think about the balance and think about the strength at the same time here. Lift one leg up behind you, and you're going to squat on that side. And I've chosen my bad side this time. So there and lift. If that's too much, you could just tap the foot in front there. So you're still working this leg and you're not really putting so much weight through the other leg. Okay, but you're still challenging yourself. And then let's switch sides. There. And lift. So any kind of unilateral work where you're working one side and then the other is great for runners. Couple more. Because obviously that's what we do, isn't it? Going from one side to the other. And we want to be equally strong in both sides so that we avoid imbalances and injuries. Okay, pedal through there. I hope you're all good so far. Come to the end of your mat, make sure you've got some room in front of you, and I'm just going to shuffle my mat over a little bit. So those feet are still underneath you in a parallel position. You're going to let the head and arms hang, and you're going to roll down. Halfway down, put your hands above your knees, and then arch and dip through the spine. Release off the back. And again, lots of runners, including me, can have issues with the back. So really important that we mobilise it. Last couple. And then let the head and arms hang or roll yourself up slowly. Take the arms over. Have a little back extension. Bring the arms down. We're going to do that once more. So allow the head and arms to hang. Roll down just to the halfway mark. Hands above the knees. Arch and dip through the spine. Bend the knees. Breathe. And then let the head and arms hang. Roll yourself up slowly. Take the arms over. Stretch. And then bring it down. Roll the shoulders. So any move that we're doing, we want to think about breathing. And we want to think about the breath coming from the diaphragm. Okay, so round your hip, round your rib cage here. If you put your middle fingers together, take a breath in and feel the rib cage expand, and then breathe out and feel those ribs come together. So that's where you want your air to be coming in. So breathe deeply into the lungs, breathe out. And one more time there while you're thinking about it, but then I'd like you to continue with that as much as you can, and it takes a while to get used to. I didn't want to do that straight away with you because I know some people can be very put off by that if they think they can't do the breathing properly. And as I'm keeping it sort of beginners focused, I just want you to think about moving, breathing naturally. But if you can now, you've got a bit warmer, just start thinking about breathing through the rib cage there, breathing laterally. So we're going to roll all the way down now. Let the head and arms hang. Now, if you've got any back issues ongoing, you may not want to come all the way down. It might not be suitable for you. If you are okay here, just let it hang and roll the arms side to side. So again, just releasing the spine. There. Well done. Hold it in the centre. Now walk the hands forwards. Push back into the heels. And now pedal the feet through. Again, we're loosening up through the feet and through the calf muscles there. And then push into both heels and hold it. Feel that good stretch coming through the back, through the hamstrings, the calves and under the feet. And now if you want to, you're lifting up one leg, point up, step the foot forwards, just as far as you want to go, and you'll feel that stretch come there through the hip flexors. You can lower and lift the other knee. So we touch and lift, touch and lift. Last couple, last time. Push back into that heel, take the other leg back, push back. Feel that stretch there, and then walk the hands in towards the toes. Let the head and arms hang. Pull in the tummy tightly, bend the knees. Slowly roll up. Your head comes up last of all. Take the arms over, have a little back bend. Roll the arms down, and we're going again. So let the head and arms hang. Slowly travel down, vertebra by vertebra. Walk the hands forwards. Push into the heels. Lift at one leg point. Step the foot forwards. Feel that stretch come through the hip flexors. Then if you want to, you're going to touch the knee down and lift. So you keep the other knee in to your arm, you don't let it flail out to the side. And then hold it here, push back. And now shift your weight forwards into a plank. Just hold that plank there. If that's too much for you there, you can come onto your elbows. Bring your knees down one at a time. And then move yourself into a box setup. So your hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And we're going to arch and dip through the spine. Again, just releasing off the spine there. You could hold it in a dip position and wag your tail. Just a nice release there for the back. And then you could hold it up here and have a little wiggle side to side. Just a nice spine release. Excellent. Now take the knees wider, feet together, sit back into the heels. Stretch out through the shoulders, through the back. Just take a couple of breaths there. And then roll up onto your heels. So we're going to do some more strength work here, focusing on the core and the posterior chain, so the back muscles. So as runners, we tend to use our quads a lot, okay? And we want to strengthen our glutes in particular and strengthen our core to improve performance and to reduce risk of injury. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on here, is mainly working on through the back of the body rather than front. Lots of people, even not runners, sitting forwards, typing, you end up with very tight muscles here and weak muscles at the back of the body. So we're aiming to redress the balance and really strengthen up behind, okay? So come on to all fours if that's good for you. All I'd like you to do to start with is to slide one leg away, but without tipping the body over to the side. So keeping everything else still, just focus on a spot on the floor and keep your head still. Imagine you're balancing your favourite drinks on your back and you don't want them to tip off. So let's do 4 more there, and take this at your own pace. This beat is quite fast that I'm working to. You can slow this down, of course. If you're happy there, you can lift the leg here. Now, you can point the toe, which I'm doing now, which is going to work more into your core, or you could flex the foot, which is not so traditional Pilates, but that's going to work your glutes harder, which we want to do as runners. So flexing the foot. Last couple. If you're okay there, you're going to lift the other arm up, opposite arm to leg. Don't try to lift the same one. It might end in a face plant. We don't want that. Let's do 4 more. I'm pointing my toes here. You can keep alternating, so I'll do some flex foots. Okay, hold it here. We could do lots of other things with that, but I'm not going to overcomplicate things. Just take one leg out, flex the foot, keeping everything else still. Lift and lower that leg. So you're working into the glutes there. Hold the leg up, hamstring curl. So you curl and straighten, but you're trying to keep the leg in line with the spine. Hold it bent, push, push. If it's too much on your wrists, then come onto your elbows. Release that knee down, straighten the other leg, lift and lower, keeping the hips facing the mat like a pair of headlights. Let's do 4 more. Breathing, remember, into the rib cage, not shallow breathing. Hold it up here, flexing the foot, hamstring curl and extend. Curl, extend. Trying to keep the body still. Hold it up, little pulses, really squeeze those glutes. Bring it down, sit down and release. And then pull in the tummy, roll up onto your heels. You just want to give the wrists a little bit of a release there, circle in both directions. So I'm going to take this to another level. Now, if that was enough for you, then you can do that again, rather than moving on. Okay, so feel free to stay where you were rather than taking this other option. If you're feeling strong, you're going to take one leg out, lift the other arm, and now we're going to do those glute moves, but we're working the core as well as the glutes. So this is a win-win for runners. Let's go 4 more. 4, 3, last 2, last 1, hold it here, hamstring curl and extend, curl, extend, hold that core strong and don't hold your breath. Flex the foot and pulse, squeeze. Well done, last couple, and then put the knee down. Let's have a release there, so sit back. And this is your rest and recovery position. You can come back to it any time you need to. Pull in your tummy and roll yourself up onto your heels. So using the same action there as when we were rolling down and rolling up at the start. Give the wrists a little bit of a release. I hope you're still okay. Come on to all 4. So now we need to do the other side. So we slide the leg away, keep the head still, take the arm away, thumb pointing up to the ceiling, lift and lower. Just notice, is one side any stronger than the other? Let's go 4 more, holding strong. You can do this. Last couple, hold it up here, ready to hamstring curl. So the curl, release. Well done. Curl and hold, then squeeze, work those glutes, and then bring that down. So sit down onto the heels. Now obviously these kind of moves are great to do as your strength training in between your runs. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do that straight before or after a run. Obviously an easy run is fine. Okay, just circle those wrists again and circle them the other way. Okay, so we're just going to come onto the side, elbows stacked under the shoulder and come onto your hips. We're going to open and close. You can just rest this hand here, but don't do this. So elongate through the body. Go up for 2. So we go up for 2. So this is your clam move. Your feet stay together. Well done. Go up for 2 and then hold. Little pulses. Squeeze, squeeze. Really good glute medius exercise. Keep pulsing. If the pulses are too much, just go back to bring the knees together and then open. Fabulous. Okay, hold it here. Now while we're here, shall we have a side plank? Why not? Okay, give you different options. So if you can, we're taking the legs out here. Everything's in line. We're off from our hip. We're lifting up here and holding. If that's too much for you, I'll just shuffle forward slightly because I've got the space behind me. You can come up from your knee. So the lower leg is from your knee instead of from your foot. And that's your easier option. So take whichever option you want to. If you want to make that harder, you could hold that leg up as well. And that's a really good core strength move. Nearly 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg down and bring it all down. There are so many variations and things that we could do with that, but that's definitely going to work. Bring yourself over onto your back and then we'll do the other side in a second. So first of all, I just want you to tilt the pelvis just like we did when we were standing. So we tilted the pelvis forwards and back. So I want you to do that here. So just little pelvic tilts. And then very slowly I want you to peel off the mat, vertebra by vertebra. So you're going from your shoulders all the way to the knees. You're squeezing those glutes, opening the hips. So this is a great move for runners. We're strengthening the glutes and we're stretching through the hip flexors, which tend to get tight. And then peel down slowly, but you're doing it with control. Vertebra by vertebra comes down into the mat. Your tailbone comes down last of all, so scoop it up and then release. Let's do that one more time. This time, if you'd like to take the arms over as well, then you can do. That's an option. So peel it up, float the arms over, keep the head still, squeeze those glutes. and then slowly peel down with care and control. Vertebra by vertebra comes down into the mat. Okay, so from here you can just flip straight over to the other side. I don't want to have my back to you, so I'm going to shuffle round. So elbow under the shoulder, so that's nice and stacked. We're on our hip, so you're on the bony part of your hip, knees are stacked, ready for climb this side. Now if you wanted to make this harder, these kind of fabric bands are great for using around your legs to strengthen the glutes. I use them all the time in my classes. So really good if you want to strengthen your glutes. The rubber ones are good too, but they tend to sort of roll up, don't they? And they end up around your waist. But the fabric ones are really a good one. Last couple. And then let's go up for 2, down for 2. Lift and lift. Squeeze those glutes. Last couple. Lift and lift. Lower. And one more time. Lift, lift, lower, up and then hold. So we go up and hold. Squeeze, squeeze. Woo! Can you feel those glutes working? I hope you can. Nearly, but not quite. Last few. And then we're going to go with that side plank on this side. So remember your different options. You could go from the knee again, or from your hip. If you went from your knee on the other side, I'd suggest you do the same this side, because we want to avoid imbalancing the body, so we want to keep both sides the same. Okay, so coming up here, hold it up, holding strong. Remember that was the option, was to come here from the knee and that leg there. Okay, whichever option you're doing, you can then lift that top leg up if you want to take that further and hold it there. Breathe, nearly, and then bring it all the way down. Fabulous. Come over onto your back again. So this time, with our bridge, we're going to peel up, and then I want you to come halfway down, and then go up, halfway down. So you're really feeling those glutes there. You're not letting it come all the way down. Do 4 more. 3. Keep your head still, and one more time. Bring it down slowly with control. Heel down, and just release it there. And there are lots of variations that you could do with that. But just tell you a couple, and you can do that in your own time. So you could lift up one leg here and peel up, but try to keep the hips facing the ceiling. You could take the leg up long. You could lift up with the leg up long and go forwards and backwards. You could try to come up with the yoga block under the foot, which is one of my favourite moves. Really good for balance and core strength and hip mobility. There's lots of things that you could do with a bridge. I won't keep you here all day. Okay, so the feet are on the mat. You're going to lift up your legs into a tabletop position there. So just put your hands here, and you should be able to, by using your hands, check that your knees are in line with the hips. So if they're here, just push them away, and that's your test position. And you're just going to tap one toe down at a time, so back to core strength here. Hold that spine in a neutral position. So remember, at the start of the class, we were tilting the pelvis point A, point C, and we found point B halfway between. So that's where your pelvis and your spine should sit now. If you want to make that harder, can you tap your heel down instead of your toe? And that just means the leg's got to work a bit, well, your tummy's got to work a bit harder to get your leg a bit lower. So you're really feeling that in the lower abs, hopefully. If any of this is pulling on your back, take it back a level. If it's still too much, put one foot down on the floor and you're just lifting and lowering here. So that would be an easier option. If you want to take it harder, can you stretch the leg away this time? So stretch it away, bring it in. Stretch. You could take the arms up, opposite arm to leg. You could flex the foot or point the toe. You could take both arms, one leg, but again, not arching the back, keeping it strong. Well done. Let's do 4 more. 3. Last 2. And last 1. and release. So bring your legs right up this time, if that's okay for you. You're going to lower one leg down and then bring it up. So really feeling this in the abs. Point the toe, lengthen, bring it up. If this is too much, you go back to the bent knee. Okay, so there's your easier option. Always shortening the lever by bending the leg if you want to make it easier. Let's do 4 more, holding the core strong. Spine still neutral, breathe, and last time. Bring the knees into the chest, just give it a release there. Okay, still in that tabletop position, palms down. I want you to open one leg out to the side at a time. So open and bring it in. So we're mobilizing through the hips, we're stabilizing through the core. If you want to, you could take your arms out to the side for a bit more stability. If you want to make this a bit of a brain challenge, we could do opposite arm, opposite leg, pec deck move. Think about your breathing. Are you still breathing in to the diaphragm? Last couple. Keeping everything else still. Put the feet down. You can put one foot down, one leg up. Have a go at circling that leg around. So again, we're working on core stability, hip mobility, and then go back the other way. If you want to make that harder, you can straighten the other leg around. But as I said, I'm not making it too difficult today. Switch sides. So other leg comes up, point the toe, circle that leg around. I'm a bit restricted because I'm up against the wall, but you can make that circle a bit bigger. Go the other way. Has anyone else got a good crunchy crack going on in the hip? Is it just me? And then release it down there. Take the legs out nice and long, arms overhead. Just have a lovely full body stretch there. So point and lengthen through the toes, through the tummy, through the back, through the arms, into the hands and the fingers. Really stretch. And then float the arms over. So now I'd like you, if you've got your towel or your strap, grab your towel or your strap. So I'm going to do some quite deep stretches here for the legs, the lower body, as that's what we've been working predominantly, what we need to stretch as runners. So holding the band under your foot, the other foot's on the floor, okay, and all I'm going to do to start with is bend and straighten that leg, okay, so bend and straighten, holding onto your strap with both hands or your towel. Hold it up at the top, straight, and then point and flex the foot. Point and flex. Point and flex. Hold it in a flex position. Just see if you can pull that any closer to you. Breathe. As you exhale, try to release any tension you're holding. Turn the big toe inwards towards your opposite shoulder, and the heel comes outwards, and you'll feel that stretch in a slightly different place in the hamstrings. And then turn the foot out the other way, so the toes are out, the heel's in, and again you'll feel that stretch in a slightly different place. Where did you get the best release? Go back, either out or in, and just hold it there. So I'm turning my toes inwards. Hold it back to the centre. Now lift and lower the head. So this is sciatic nerve flossing. So if you do suffer with sciatica, this isn't necessarily going to cure it, but if you're in between having a flare-up, then it can help prevent it. And then release it there. Now then, I'm going to hold the band or your towel, same arm, same leg. Extend the other leg out. Take this arm out flat. Now my arm's just bent because the wall's there, but ideally you want that arm nice and straight. Take this leg out to the side and feel that stretch come through the inner thigh. You're in control. You're holding onto that band or your towel. So you just take that as far as you want to take it. But you don't tip over. This shoulder stabilizes you. Bring it into the center. So now you're going to switch hands. Opposite hand to foot is holding on. This arm goes out to stabilize and you bring that leg over. So great one for tight glutes and IT band, okay? Again, I could take that leg a little bit further, but I'm just restricted with the space here. If I go that way too much, you won't be able to see me. So just stretch it out there, breathe, and then bring it back to the center, bend the knee, put that foot on the floor. Same thing other side there. So the band goes under, or the towel goes under the sole of your foot, and we started with bending and extending that leg. Breathing. Hold it at the top, point and flex the foot. Point and flex. Just notice how this side feels. Hold it in the center, big toe towards opposite shoulder. Hold and feel that stretch. Turn it round the other way, so the big toe comes out, heel comes in. Feel that stretch. Bring it into the center and then take it back, whichever way gave you the best stretch. And just be aware of your body. Bring it into the center again. See if you can bring that leg any closer towards you. And now we lift the head and lower. Lift and lower. Last couple and last time. And then just bend the knee. Take the band off. So I just want to have a little bit of a release through the middle here as well. So the feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Take the knees to one side, turn your head to face the other way. So you've got a nice release and a twist through the middle there. And then bring it through the center, take the knees to the opposite side, turn your head and feel the stretch there. And then bring it up through the center, feet on the mat. Take your feet a little bit wider this time and just bring your knees side to side, almost like windscreen wipers. So nice release there through the hip and through the lower back. Well done. And then hold it here. Just take the arms over, really enjoy a full body stretch. So imagine you're turning the volume up to 10, so stretch it right out, really tense and stretch, and then just release. Bring the arms to the side and just let it all release. So normally in my classes I spend a bit of time doing a relaxation at the end. I'm just going to do just a short breathing exercise for you here, because I know that's not the aim of this class. So just close your eyes and I want you to breathe in for the count of 4. Hold your breath. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. And now just return your breath to normal. That's a technique called box breathing, and any time that you might be feeling anxious or wound up, obviously it is Mental Health Awareness Week this week, just a technique that you can use literally anywhere. So breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, holding for 4. Really good technique to use just to relax you, or any time that you feel those shoulders coming up to your ears, just let it all go. Okay, bring yourself over onto all fours. So the hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and arch and dip through the back there. And then from here, just pull in your tummy, roll yourself up. So you're in a kneeling position here. Just take one foot forwards. So we've got a letter L in that leg and a letter L in the leg behind. I want you to tilt the pelvis forwards and back, just like we did, standing on like we did lying on our back. And then hold that pelvis in a tilted forward position. Lift up one arm and take the arm over. So the arm that's gone up is the opposite to the leg that's in front. And feeling that stretch in the hip flexors, so important for runners, and down the waist. Bring the arm down. come back to a kneeling position, hold the core strong, take that foot forwards, tilt the pelvis forwards and back, and then hold forward. So you tuck your bottom under, take the arm up, and then stretch over to the side. So you can feel that stretch coming in through the hip flexors and through the waist. Bring that arm down, come back to a kneeling position, hands back onto the mat. Take the knees wide, feet together, sit back on the heels, push away the arms, stretch through the back, through the shoulders, through those inner thigh muscles. And again, if you want to, just take that breathing pattern here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Just take your time. And then when you're ready, you lift up your bottom, tuck your toes under, push back into the heels. Feel that stretch there coming through the calf muscles, through the back, through the neck, through the shoulders. And pedal the feet again. Release off those feet, release the calves. And then push back into the heels again. Enjoy that stretch. And now walk your hands slowly, slowly in towards your toes. Bend the knees as much as you need to do. Let the head and arms hang. And then very slowly, you're rolling up, pulling your tummy tightly as you roll. Your head comes up last of all. When you make it to the top, let's take in a big deep breath. Stretch it up. Stretch over for the waist, into the center, over to the other side. Bring it into the center. Take your arms out wide and give yourself a big clap. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed that and hope that's been beneficial to you. As far as I'm aware, that is going to stay on this page, so you can come back to it any time you want to. So you've got those mobility exercises there, some flexibility at the end, and some strength exercises that you can do to keep your core and your glutes nice and strong. So I really hope that helped. Thanks for joining me, and at some point maybe I will see people in real life, who knows. Okay, take care everyone. Have a nice Tuesday.